excited to have you here. Welcome to Seattle, and the first of 5 sessions we're going to have for the Systems and Structures track. My name is Brandon Savage. I'm going to be your track lead over the course of the next 24 hours, and my goal here, and kind of the goal of this entire conference, is really to help spark innovation. And I hope what will happen in these 5 panel discussions that we'll have over the next 3 days is not just to reflect back things to you that you already know, but hopefully to serve as a catalyst, that we're going to get interesting people, interesting companies, interesting ideas talked about here that will get you thinking about ways that you could perhaps approach things a bit differently, try some new things, and make some changes within your companies to take advantage of some of the technology that's out here in the housing industry. So to start off today, I want to thank Infinity Energy Construction as our sponsor for this particular session. We have a representative who's on the panel today from Infinity, so I'll kind of let him introduce himself and the company here in just a moment. So I'm going to kind of transfer from here. Our goal is we're going to wrap up just a little bit before 4 o'clock because you all have some boardroom sessions to go to. But we're hoping to have a really good discussion about this current topic, structure and systems innovations for energy efficiency and sustainability. So I'm going to step over here to the table and introduce you to our lovely track panelists today. You'll notice if you're doing the math here that we've got 5 pictures on the screen and we've got 4 of us here at the table. I'm going to start off with Nick Brown, who is the president at Build Smart Group. He is not here at the table with us, but using Zoom tech. Actually, I guess I'll introduce myself first. Let me do myself, and then we'll introduce Nick. So my name is Brandon Savage. I am an instructor at Kansas State University. I know a lot of you are from Big 12 country. Raise your hand if you're a Big 12 country. Yeah, a few of you. So sorry, but go Cats, Big 12 champions. That was exciting on Saturday. I teach in the business school there, operations, supply chain. I also work for a company called Vozic that does AI, machine learning to help with recurring revenue, customers to reduce churn. I did my MBA at Wharton, and when it comes to housing, like why am I here? I do not claim to be an expert in most of these areas. I'm a good questioner, and I think hopefully a good moderator, and I hope to be able to keep the discussion going today. One area that I have been involved in housing over the last few years, I do serve on our local board for Habitat for Humanity. And you're going to hear a little bit more about that on Wednesday because I've invited some people that I associate with that are doing some really interesting things in our community in Manhattan, Kansas at Habitat, but stay tuned for that. So now I'm going to turn the time over to Nick Brown, who was able to join us remotely and did some pre-recording, and I'm going to ask Nick to introduce himself, tell us about him and his company. So Nick, take it away.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Nick Brown. I'm a Southern California-based energy consultant. So I'm often the only voice of energy and conservation and efficiency on a project. I help make sure that the project meets the California Energy Code, what we call Title 24 here in the state, as well as teach classes for the statewide Energy Code education team we call Energy Code ACE, and classes on topics like all-electric homes has really become hot. I teach that for Southern California Edison, classes on heat pumps for PG&E. So we've had a lot of changes in just the past few years since we came to you in Seattle last year in the panel with CR and Mike Mancini talking about how to differentiate our new homes using some of these innovations. So glad to be here. Sorry I can't be there in person though.
All right, next up, we've got Alan. Alan, tell us a little about yourself and your company.
Sure. Good afternoon, everyone. Alan Cape with Ream Manufacturing. We're a global company making HVAC equipment, water heating equipment, pool heating, as well as commercial refrigeration. I'm from our water heating side, and I'm here to talk about things that we're seeing and changes on the water heating high efficiency side. We operate in around 80 plus countries, but my focus is on North America. Within that space, I work with building new construction part of the business, but also I work with utilities, influencers, NGOs, people who are setting the focus on energy efficiency. And so putting that with the new construction, really, they work well together on what we're seeing in the market today with a lot of decarbonization. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second.
Thanks, Alan. Next up, Kenny.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having us. Thanks for letting us sponsor this. My name's Kenny Kingery. I'm the National Sales Manager for Infinity Energy Construction. We're a solar, battery, and EV installer. We're mainly based out of California. We're nationwide for the most part. We grow more states every year as adoption takes place. But we're glad to be here and help educate you guys on solar and batteries as they become super popular and the adoption rate takes place in your guys' states. And I want to help you guys answer any questions you have about that. So.
And last up, Steve.
Hey, everybody. I'm happy to be here. My name is Steve Herbert. I'm the Director of Global Business Development at Samsung SmartThings. I've been in the business about 8 years, and I'm here to talk a little bit about SmartThings Energy, which is our smart home energy management solution. It works within our free app, SmartThings. As you guys are probably familiar with it in the builder industry, it's a very popularly used smart home system. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how builders can use SmartThings Energy as a way to help homeowners become more aware of their energy consumption and to find ways to cut that back.
All right, so to start off the discussion, the question that I wanted to ask each of our panelists here is why is this topic, conservation or sustainability, efficiency, why is it important to this industry? And to give the first answer to that, we'll ask Nick that question. Nick, what do you think?
I'm really glad you used that term conservation in queuing this up. Not because it's the right word, because it's the wrong word in many ways. And let me say why. I think our industry has largely failed at getting people excited to buy new homes using energy efficiency. It's been a failure. We've reached those who were going to buy the new homes because of that anyway. We've failed to reach many others. So conservation is not the way we're going to make this pay for our businesses. But why is it important? It's still very important. But the reason we should be talking about it is in terms of lower utility bills and what you can do with the money you free up. Satisfaction at living with a smaller footprint, that I think gets to more people. And most of all, living in a healthier home. What we've not done a good job of as an industry, in my opinion, is communicate just how living in a home with a better envelope, a home with less emissions indoors through all electric technologies like heat pumps, can improve the health of our family, improve how the people who work from home in a home office are performing at a higher level, the quality of our sleep, the chance of getting respiratory illnesses like asthma, which are a big deal here in California and really all over the country. That's, I think, what we've got to talk about, the terminology we have to use in selling these differentiated homes, which can be so much superior to the used homes down the street. I'd also add, in the future segments, we're going to talk about why electrification, but also renewable energy production, producing your own energy on your roof, potentially having a battery storage system to manage the peaks and valleys of that process. And hopefully, increasingly, I'm seeing smart panels being installed in conjunction with the solar and battery systems so that the power can be routed to the refrigerator, certain lighting circuits, certain power outlets to recharge phones in the case of a blackout automatically. Those resiliency benefits are the other thing that can speak to a ton of home buyers for whom conservation doesn't get them out of bed in the morning.
Okay, so I think you kind of teed up parts of what each of you is doing. So who wants to expand on that? What do you guys think?
I mean, I can kind of start. A lot of what he talks about and the code that he works on specifically in California Title 24 is a big part of my job and what we do, actually. So renewable energy is hand in hand with conservation, and it, saving money on utility bills is absolutely probably the #1 reason you hear about it the most. And adding people are going to start buying EVs like crazy. Adding batteries for grid maintenance issues and for saving extra money on your utility rates. All of that's huge for what we do as well. And he hit the nail on the head with how we want to bring it up, because it is conservation, but really it's how you manage your own home and your own finances, really, with a lot of those tied in to help you understand how you consume energy in your house better and more efficiently.
Alan?
Sure. I think Nick teed that up pretty well. Your home buyers, your consumers, that generation that's coming up, they're all interested in their own sustainability, their carbon footprint, and they want to be connected, right? And so most of our adoption rate of high efficiency technology has been mainly code driven. We're starting to see some proactive adoption rate because of that sustainability focus and wanting to be good stewards of resources. So that's what we're seeing. And within our industry, with the heating and air and both water heating, we're generally probably 60+% of your energy costs in your home. So we think we're seeing it and hearing it, and so we're trying to do things to help parallel that with your homeowner base, with products that communicate and also lower their energy costs, and then also reduce their carbon footprint as well.
Steve?
Yeah, I mean, sustainability is a super important topic at Samsung right now. I think we're leading with that at the Consumer Electronics Show coming up because it's so important to us. It's really kind of in everything that we're doing right now. 4 years ago when we talked about how do we differentiate our platform, energy came to mind as the next sort of thing that you could use an automated system in the home to automate energy savings. And I think what we're all talking about here is a new standard, right? The standard keeps going up and up and up in terms of the efficiency of the home and the way that we live in it. And so I think actually the bigger question is where do you want to be on that adoption trend line? Do you want to be a little bit ahead of it, or do you want to be behind it? Because at some point the building codes are going to take all of these things into consideration. The next sort of level playing field is going to be a little higher than it was before. And so I would encourage you guys to look at this as an opportunity to get out ahead before you're going to be forced to do these things, and then there's really not as much of an economic benefit to you as a home builder.
Okay.